We're gonna switch B Shillian Math Magician 10 this week.
Hells yeah. We're moving up in the world, man.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Alright. We'll also put we'll switch Legacy and Samada.
Let's go.
8 and 16.
Alright, let me see. We can also switch Side and Sev. Yep. Madior, we can switch you with Braden Soccer 22. Yep.
Dude,
All right.
Shane's rankings are like Yelp reviews. You know what I mean?
These are solid. I'm telling you, the end of season, we're gonna look back and we're gonna be like, wow, Shane's was really close.
Well, I'm making a motion to add another team on this list, and I want to do Sev with in parentheses Rook playing pause 1. Because when you have an 8K basically smurfing playing pause 1 in this league, he will go from middle of the pack to definitely a top tier team, especially when he's trying to put out for his brother and his friends casting a game. Some things will go like that. So if I use that Sev team, I'd put them 3. I'd keep the rankings for the top 2 the same, and then I'd put third Sev with Rook playing pause 1. Oh, sad. All right. Well, I said my piece anyway. Normally, I mean, I think they're probably like 9. We'll put 9. I think everyone else is. Let's see. So them to 9. We'll move everyone else up 1, and we'll swap. Like drop Sev to 9. Chaz and Braden Soccer each go up 1. I forgot what was the result of the Courier and the Courier game where they play. Who'd they play? So they haven't played it yet.
Played.
All right, because that would have helped my rankings. But all right, we'll keep everything below them the same for now because I think that, and then we'll switch. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave them the same, and then we'll go. Maybe I got to put more respect on the Chaz. Actually, let's swap them with. Let's just put them at the top of that like yellow or like that second level, like above Courier 6. Yeah. And then everyone else down. Yep. Yeah, 8, 9. Those are like it's like hard. I have to still play the Math Magician team to know for sure. I know Sauce will always be solid, but let's just put Math at 3, Sauce at 4, and we'll keep you at 5 on Madior. And then I think I'm done with the rankings.
3, dude.
Despair. Actually, wait. What team's Shane on again?
Yeah, I'm on the math team. Do not put us at 3.
All right. Can you put Shane at 17 and
There
just leave a blank spot at 4? Thank you.
You can move us to 4. We're
I
doing
was
pretty
leaving
well.
like 3 is way too high for us. Yeah, keep putting it down. We got smacked by the Samada team. No, it wasn't a smack.
We're 3 9s.
I'm adding additional
for what
content.
it's worth. Jim will probably be staying carry, so we're gonna cheat the whole rest of the season.
Unadjusted 6.7k sign up. Rook. Yes.
He was not adjusted. Yeah. If you take into Oh, we both will. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. It's you're not playing Dota if you're not also playing RuneScape.
Almost Indian Badger casting.
Well, apparently my mic in the OBS was off and was set for some reason. It keeps resetting itself to the webcam, which is turned off. So there was no stream for my mic. But what can you do? We figured out it fast enough. All right, let's go back to the predictions. Applesauce versus Chaz. Plupo, what will you say?
The Applesauce is probably a 1-1 under the stipulation that Narathene doesn't take a risky buyout at 30 minutes, which he does fairly consistently, and then his team will just lose a team fight and then they'll lose the game. Probably 1-1. I think Narathene will make that mistake game 1, and then their team will lose, and then it'll be like, okay, I gotta stop buying out and stuff, and then it'll be 1-1.
Okay, Sev?
I think I'm gonna say 1-1 as well. But if it's not 1-1, then I think it's a 2-0 to the Chaz team. I think Sauce's team will be able to pull out a win, but like Reed and Chaz are both very, very strong players, at least from the games I've played with them.
Yeah, I mean, they won one to my team last week without me playing, and I wish like half of each game. So I'll point out though, Narathene's team Badger. So I skimmed like through some of the games from last week. I didn't watch everyone, and I'm very interested how this SNY came to be here. Like,
oh, on Spectre?
Yes, on Badger. I need some explanation. Unfortunately, we probably won't ever get it. But 33-minute SNY, not sure about what happened there. Can we trace it in any way what happened there? No, it was a straight buyout 33 minutes in. Yeah. I have no idea what happened there, but I mean, they won the game, so it didn't matter, right? Alright. Plupo, your team. Let's say so far, you didn't have the best showing. Despite all the promise, despite being the MWTL winners some time ago, season 6. What went wrong, and why next week you're winning this game 2-0?
So what went wrong? I think we just haven't played with each other in so long that we had to readjust to playing with each other again. We have a different mid laner, and he plays in a kind of different style, and we're working on communication there. And then I think our main problem is just that our offlane was just like really bad. Like we consistently lose our offlanes, and that's just a draft issue that we had. So the change that we're making is I'm moving into an offlane role, and Ben is moving into the position 4 role. We're hoping that some shakeup there is going to help us down the line.
Wait, so you're playing 3 and Bincho's playing 4 for you now?
That's correct. Okay. That's going to be the change for us.
Okay, well, if anybody doesn't know what is happening to their mid, I'll just show, you won't see it on this Discord stream, but I'm showing the game where your mid went Midas Dagon, which still makes him the best player in the league, obviously, because going first item Midas Dagon on Storm is insane.
Yeah, he's a memer for sure. That's why I kind of formed the stack because it's a bunch of guys that all have fun playing with each other, and then this gigantic memer in the mid lane who's also pretty good. But yeah, our communication isn't top notch, and because of that, there's a lot of shortcomings that we have involving the mid and the offlane coordination. But hopefully that'll be resolved by my move to position 3. Insider information, I don't think this game is going to happen this week. I think our scheduling conflicts are just too great. We can't push to the makeup week again, obviously. So this is probably a 0-2 default, but if we do end up playing this game at some point this week, it'll be a 2-0 in favor of us. I think the offlane swap is huge for us, and it's felt really good in the one scrim that we played it. So,
Okay. Well, we played you guys when you were 3.
that was a fake 3. I was not convinced that I was a position 3 at that point, but now I'm all in. I'm playing 3s. I'm figuring out how to play the map. Things are a lot better. That was like our first game when I played 3, but now I feel good. I'm playing all those lame 3 heroes like Broodmother and Doom and shit like that. So,
All right. Seb,
should be fun.
what will you say about this game?
So I stood in for the Gazelle team, one of their series. We went 1-1, I think. I think their team would be much better with Off playing carry instead of me, because Off's a very good carry player. Their mid laner is really good. I think he's I think he lives in Southeast Asia right now. And I think he's playing with Ping. I might be wrong, but he's really good and talks a lot during the game and has pretty good impact. I think if I didn't have the insider knowledge that they're swapping up their offlane, I think they would just get rolled by Off, just kind of winning from the bad offlane that they used to have. But with the insider knowledge, I think I'll say 1-1 again.
Okay.
I wouldn't even fault you for saying
So,
like 0-2. I mean, we're
You know,
not
it's
doing too
interesting.
hot.
Yes, Seb, it's interesting that you stood in, because at the start of the season I had major question for this Kansai guy, especially because what I knew about him is that I saw him posting in LFT all the time in like lads and stuff, and I had never seen him on any teams and anything. And then, like, if you went to his profile, he had almost no like tournament games.
He has a really thick accent. Like, it was kind of hard to understand what he was saying half the time.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like all of the things that he was saying was good game knowledge, and he clicked his buttons like really well. Like, when you're playing with someone, you're like, you see the reaction speed things, and you're like, oh shit, this guy's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That I definitely got that from playing with him.
Fair enough. So, something that you'll definitely not see if you're watching me play. I understand.
especially Puck. That guy, when he's on Puck, I feel like Puck's one of the heroes you could like really see the skill like ceiling of players, if like late game, especially when they are just unkillable, untouchable, and on his Puck, he's definitely one of those players. So definitely what Seb said is true.
All right. Well, maybe at some point, people in like lads or something will actually give him a chance as well.
Potentially,
we have some good responses about him. All right. Courier versus Jeffrey. Courier is the team that Snow is on. Plupo, go ahead. What do you think about this game?
I don't know these teams super well. I do know Jeffrey. Oh god, I gotta look at what these teams are again. Jeffrey. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that Jeffrey team.
I can tell you that Jeffrey's team is 2-2, unless it's not updated.
No,
but I think they're 2-2.
I like that. That Jeffrey team seems really solid. They just seem solid. I think. The MMR distribution on the Snow team seems just like a little spread. So unless Soundproof is shot calling for all the games and consistently and calling it well, then that Jeffrey team is just solid. I know Tempest as well. He's like a great position 3, a great offlane player in general. So yeah, I give it to Jeffrey 2-0.
Alright, it's actually interesting because I would definitely think. I think that I don't know what's going there, but I think that on paper, at least for me, Snow's team seems like a better team than Jeffrey, even though Jeffrey's team already like doing way better than I thought they would. And Kerr didn't play last week, so versus your team, so I don't have that information of like in my mind you should have like got tooled by them, but I don't know what would actually happen. All right, Seth.
I think the Jeffrey team's gonna 2-0. I think Jeffrey's a really, really good mid laner, especially for his MMR. And then the Ubai Wards team, it's going kind of back to Lads content. A lot of people ranked his Lads team pretty low. But I think they're 3-1 right now, and like they've been performing pretty well. And I think like people always pull up to the washed argument.
Ubai Wards is not on those teams. I'm pretty. Oh, never mind. He's on Jeffers. Yeah.
I think I just checked that.
Yeah, he's on Jeffers. Yeah.
I would say that team went 2-0.
Okay.
So what you're saying is the Courier team's about to be put in a blender by Jeffrey?
Word for word, yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Nice.
Okay, Legacy, you're the only person except for me who said that Kerr is winning the game. Why?
I just think there's going to be a 1-1. I feel like, one team, like just kind of like what Sev said, I feel like they have some valued players on Jeffrey. They might like pick some heroes, stomp game one, or have like a really strong game one, and then that second game, it's really hard for teams to 2-0 sometimes unless they're really, really a lot better, because they'll get, you'll play more relaxed. You won't be as on edge when you're 1-0 up. You'll feel like relaxed, and sometimes that can mean a throw happens and then you get a 1-1. So I think with a lot of the teams where I feel like they're rather close in skill, I would say oftentimes 1-1 can just be natural, even if there's a team that's probably better.
Okay. All right. We can't predict for this game, but this game will not be played next week, so we may as well skip it. And I'm not sure if we'll be doing a stream when it will be a makeup week though, so we can put them in while we're here. Me versus the Braden Soccer, the Beast team, the Grind King team. Plupo?
That's a 1-1, I think. Braden's soccer team looks really underrated. I mean, for some reason, he's still 11th on the power ranking after 1-1ing like the Sauce team and
No.
the other teams.
Plupo, that's
did he
not
just get bumped up?
not the correct rankings. The Shane rankings are the ones that matter. Where Braden is
Oh,
number 5.
okay. Well then, yeah, still 1-1. Oh my gosh, if we're going by the Shane rankings, it's a 2-0. No, but I think it's a 1-1. I think his team's solid, and people aren't giving him enough credit.
Here, Seth.
I also think it's a 1-1. I think we played the Braden Soccer team, and I mean their 8K pause 4, like it shows like how much better he is than everyone else in the lobby when you played against him, because he just rotated. And like I think a big thing with these like 4K leagues too is like if you have a player who can micromanage your low MR players to have significant game impact, it's actually like a huge advantage. And that guy just, I don't know what he was doing in their comms. I think someone's even streamed the game, so you can go back and watch if you want to. I think Braden actually streamed them, but
I watched some of their
team
games, yeah.
Yeah, I think that team's really strong, but I think like all of their weaknesses are so easily exploited that like they could easily lose a game as well. I think if they can like tidy up some of their weaknesses, then that team could honestly win the league.
I mean, I will disagree with you just because I think their carry from like I watched like 3 of their games or something, 3 or 4 games. I mean, like 2 series or something, and like sometimes it's painful to watch their carry, which is like okay, he's like I think he's like 1.5K, so it's like expected. But I feel like that team is like, unless they get like Beast, like his late game winning hero, unless he gets his Earth Spirit or Storm, the Elder Titan or Storm, the heroes who like dominate late game. I feel like if the game goes late, they'll be at a big disadvantage. Just from how the game actually goes.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think my counter argument to that is like I think when we played them one of the games, I think the carry played Wraith King. And like obviously he performed how you would expect a 2K player on Wraith King to perform, but he still had game impact. And then they have essentially like a 4th core in their pause 4 because he just takes like all the free farm on the map. And so like even I think I'd rather have lower MMR cores but have essentially 4 cores on one team than play against like a heavily weighted team with like a really high mid and carry.
So basically my team, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, your team now. Your team is the same now. So
yeah, no, it's the exact same. Yeah.
Interesting, because I definitely tend to favor the teams with 2 strong cores over anything else. At least from what you can see from my rankings. That's how I usually like put. Fair enough.
That Braden soccer team is probably the biggest boom or bust team in the league. Like I feel like when they're like going. They're probably one of the best teams in the league, but they could also be the worst. It just depends, I feel like, on their drafts and if, as pointed out, their pause 4 can micromanage effectively. Because if he doesn't, I feel like most teams, the way to beat them is to pick D pushers and a carry that outscales the other carry, and then eventually you'll just win late game because you'll have whatever that carry is and you'll have your map. But if you allow like Beast and that pause 4 to just chain get all the kills on the map, Beast will be 30-0 every single game and just you'll lose like that. So.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Legacy. Let's start with you, even though you already ranked. You're playing versus Amino and Samadin next week. A team that we both put on like number 1 pretty much every week.
I have a lot of respect for a lot of the players in that team. I think it's a super value strong team. I think this team would also do really well in MD2L if they formed a team. Amino obviously is on my MD2L team right now. I have the utmost respect for him. I think he's probably the best mid in the league in MD2L, as well as probably top 2 in PDC. So he's going to be a challenge for us tomorrow. I think it's going to come down to the draft, and especially giving Hobbs a hero that actually can move and not Viper per se. And Samada is also amazing carry, so that'll be tough. It's not going to be something where I can just like, go blow for blow against the enemy carry and out efficiency them. So it's going to have to come down to like some really good team play, but I think we'll be able to at least win one game and hopefully 2-0. But one game, I'll be humble with that. I think 1-1's a good goal for us.
Yeah, I think a lot of like on how the games will go will depend on how much you can contain Amino, considering you have like below 4K mid. But yeah, I also
the thing is, Element. I mean, Sev can speak. Element, like if I give him one of his like good like go-to heroes, I mean he's a little bit lower MMR than when he used to be because he took a big break. But he's like, especially on a comfort hero, like he can bang with the big boys. So I mean,
yeah, you gave him his Ember against us, and like he played it like very well. Like if you give it like what I've come to realize with like 3 to 4K mid laners is they're gonna have like 2 heroes that they love, and it's usually Ember is one of them. And if you can give them Ember, even if they get kind of trounced in the lane, they're gonna still have like significant game impact because they know how to like play around the map in the 4K average leagues and still come back. So if you guys get that,
just to point out a sore spot for him too, Seb, that second game where he like thought you were dead and started walking away from you when you were like 10 HP.
That was
and then he
funny.
dies. Oh, dude. he was so despair.
So
oh my god.
I was like, what is he doing? I thought
I
was just waiting for him to slight me, dude. I thought he like ran out of mana or something. I was like, what happened?
He didn't even need to. He had his E on you. As long as he didn't walk away, you would have just died to the dot. But
yeah, I remember
that's
like
what feels
he
bad.
just turned around and walked away, and I was like, why am I alive?
He just thought you were dead off the one right click because I think he had a DD rune, right? But then it's like all of a sudden he's like, oh my god, he has 10 HP and tries to like run after you, and then by then it's
yeah, because at that point I was screaming like supports TP because I knew that if he like dived, he would die. I thought I was gonna die, but my supports were gonna trade for the kill, and then he just walked away, and I was like, oh, epic.
Yeah, we watched that back just like in the replay, and that was so sad. Oh, I thought that's like everyone has had that moment, especially in like pubs where you're feeling good, and then all of a sudden you go for a play and it turns into the most absolute Pepega baby rage. So
yeah, that was sad times.
All right, well, let's go back to Seth. What will you say? Will you say also 1-1?
I say 2-0 for Legacy, strictly on a personal bias.
Okay. Plupo?
Same page. Yeah, 2-0 Legacy. I believe in the boy.
Oh. All right. I thought that would be 1-1 across the board. I thought that there would be more respect for
I believe in Legacy.
Yes,
I think Legacy's team is really good, and I also have a personal bias against Amino. Never spoken a word to the guy, but every time I play against him, he like shit talks my friends. I'm like, dude, who are you? Like, stop. And I don't know. I think it's really cringe when players are just like absolute assholes for no reason to people, and I get like sometimes it's a joke, but not everyone's gonna take it as a joke.
Okay, well, I think Amino is fun. I mean, I feel like similar vibes from Amino sometimes as from Beast. Dude, they're fun.
Amino went off on Jim. I don't remember when it was. I don't even think it was like this season. It was like a different league altogether. Mm-hmm. And he like all chatted the shit out of Jim when they were losing. It was like, dude, if you've ever talked to Jim, he's like the nicest person in the whole world. I don't know how you could be mean to Jim.
No, Seb, I'll tell you.
That is not true.
So last season of PDC, the PDC Mortal, we played against this team, and I had DKMP on my team, and he beefed with DKMP hard. How
can you beef with DKMP? DKMP's he's standing in for
so I remember he and Amino is my friend, so don't get me wrong, but like he all chatted that the DKMP is like literally the only person he hates in the whole league.
Why?
Dude, Amino trash talks any mid he plays against. Literally every mid, because any mid that buys regen for themselves, they're bad. Any mid that needs to get a rune for their bottle, bad. Any mid that needs like assistance from their supports, bad. So he's just kind of like a mid mindset to get you like the competitive edge. That's how he just does it.
Yeah, he's like old school mid player. That's like old school mid players mentality, where you only thing you care about is winning mid, and you don't care about anything else in the game.
Like in game, he'll trash talk you in all chat, but if you were to just go sit in a voice chat with him, he'd be he'd be like one of the nicest people you could talk to. So it just comes down to that.
I believe you entirely, and like if I'm playing mid against him, he shit talks to me, like great, like go for it, dude.
Give it back to him. It'll tilt him.
Yeah,
but like,
energy. It's when it's like, yeah, I don't want to like go off on it, but I'm sure if I ever talk to him in person and he's nice, I'll judge his character based off of my interactions with him. But so far, it's been like, brother, chill.
Watch our series then, Sev, because I'm gonna be instructing my entire team to be tipping him anytime he dies.
Nice. Mental warfare.
Yep.
All right, next game, Cide versus Tia. Plupo. Well, you have anything to say about those teams?
Again, don't know him super well, but I'll give it to C-Day 2-0. I see some familiar names on there. Jared Cabra is pretty sick, pretty value, and Nojit's also value. So I'll give it to C-Day 2-0.
Okay, Sev.
I forget who's on the princess.
It's not Princess, it's Tia.
Oh, yeah, Tia.
Tia.
Also, I don't believe in the Bearcat carry, so that's the other thing.
Bearcat, Sick Boy, Fibsh, whatever. Or...
Oh, Sick Boy is like the greatest mid laner to grace the earth playing on EU ping. But I do think the C-Day team's really good, especially if like C-Day gets his Marcy, which he probably won't. But like, I'd 1-1 this team, I think.
Okay, 1-1. So I'll say this is the game that I have pulled up here. So if they want to get the 2-0, another 1-1 next week, or I mean this week now, I would suggest not going Radiant's first item on Naga in 2023. I don't think it's great, personally. Although I'm not a Naga player, but that doesn't seem like a recipe for success to me.
Okay, sometimes. Sometimes.
Very, very sometimes. I don't think...
Yeah.
So from like how I view it, the stats are so much important for the illusions, like for the attack speed and everything. It's like you can go maybe sometimes like second item or something. Maybe if you're playing against like a ton of summons or something.
Either way, I don't think it's that game. I don't think that's the game to be going Radiance.
Yeah. And like he had a decent timing, but like the fact that the item doesn't give you any stats and also like has a terrible build up just makes it so slow. That I don't know if I would buy Radiance on any here except for Wraith King basically right now. Oh, sorry, not Wraith King, Alchemist, I mean. Because he can get it faster. Well, alright. We have Math versus Princess. Unfortunately, Shane left us, so we won't have Shane intake in this game. And why they're losing 2-0. That would be fun to listen as usual, but Plupo, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a 2-0.
For whom though?
For Math Magician, I mean.
Math? Okay.
for Math Magician, yeah. Their team's pretty good, man. This Princess team is. I don't think it's spectacular in any way that it'll be able to do anything against Math Magician.
Yeah, their team was. I didn't think they were great for them start. Like Shane Legacy had better opinion of them, but they definitely didn't perform so far. Seth, do you have anything to add except for your prediction?
For Math Magician Princess, I think it's 2-0 Math Magician.
Okay.
I think that team's just really strong, and I've played with a lot of people on the Princess team, and I think they're cool people. It's Blake B. Sinatra is like one of the funniest guys I've ever played with, but humor won't always win games. So yeah, I'd say Princess or Math team.
Yeah, I mean, Shane probably just put 2-0 because he's memeing about his.
You gotta stay humble, bro. You gotta stay humble.
I know.
I respect that entirely.
All right, well, so staying humble. What do you think about your game, which is happening later on today?
I'm sad we don't have Jim. We're bringing in DKMP, and I'm gonna play carry in these games. I think our team's been on like an anime arc. Like people thought we were gonna be good, and then we started the season and we were like 1-4 or something. We haven't been performing very well, but I think we've ironed out the issues and the way that our roles were set out, and we're trying this new role strategy, and I think it'll be good. This Milk team, I think if they weren't currently 0-6, I'd probably say 1-1, but I'm gonna give us the benefit of the doubt and say that we'll 2-0.
Okay. Yeah, I mean your team from I thought you'd be really good to the start. Like when I just look at this, and like we discussed you being on my team before the start of this and everything, and but like your team looked solid to me. The only question I had is about your Pros 4 being such a new player. But then I saw Jim going like what it was like 5-12 or something on the Timber, while being like basic AFK for half a game, and I was kind of not convinced about how good your team will be. But if you're actually trying, Based on players you have, you should be still good.
That's the key word. If they want to win, I feel like they're definitely competitive. But if they kind of just want to go for the vibes, it's definitely a lot more in the favor of a team to take a game off them.
Yeah,
We were definitely overall trying to go for the vibe, but when you're losing like almost every game, the vibes can't, like always persist.
You have to have some dumps.
So yeah, we like reevaluated, and now we're trying new vibes, and I think it's gonna be good.
okay.
I mean, also the not Noke team. I forget. I didn't actually keep up with the drama, but I'm pretty sure a couple of them were banned from MD12 for like cheating in some way. So I'm always gonna have a permanent bias now and just say
well, maybe we shouldn't have permanent bias.
Yeah, Plupo.
Banned from
pretty good guys. If you get unbanned, if you get unbanned, the time has healed the wound.
Wait, but Plupo is not unbanned in MD12.
A lot of banned.
Yeah, so that's why I also say Plupo gets 2 out every week. Come on.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
And technically, they didn't get banned for cheating. They get banned for what it was like the.
Well, not hacking,
Standard,
but
yeah.
like having Smurfs play. Right?
Wait. The Nilks team got like they were actually using like map hacks and shit.
No. It was like.
So what happened is that they submitted like they had a stand-in and they got the stand-in approved, and then after the game, stand-in did really well, and the MTL admins reevaluated it, and they thought it was a different player playing on that account because they thought that the player played too well or something. I don't know.
Well, they said that there was they had enough info to conspire to have a Smurf play on a stand-ins account to gain an unfair competitive advantage, and then they took steps in order to hide the fact from their teammates. But
I'm kind of biased against MDTL, so I don't know what
the
to think.
Badmins, yeah, true.
So I as long as let's put it this way. So the people who are playing right now, they're not doing that great. They're 0-6. So unless they suddenly start winning every game again, I don't
say something nice then for him though. He was probably the first person, even before I saw people in DPC, playing Lena Paz 1, not Milk. So I'll say that he's a trendsetter.
Okay. Plupo, what will you say? Will you support your fellow banned players?
Fuck no. Not Nilk is. So we scrimmed them last week in that first game where I started playing Pause 3, and they got 2-0'd. And that's saying something because we're pretty fucking bad. So I think I'll give it to Sev 2-0, and it's not going to be close either.
Okay. Also, I don't know. I remember now. I have a question for you, Plupo. I several times have watched your games, and Aragorn always goes for the for when he plays Clanks, he goes the talents for the attack range and the split shot. Do you know why? Or
No,
is something
that man is an enigma. There are machinations in his mind that I will never understand.
Because he's literally the only Clanks player, and I know that he plays a lot of Clanks. It's like one of his signature heroes, and he's literally the only Clanks ever I've seen to do it. And he does it like that's something like he does consistently.
He's also untiltable, by the way. Aragorn's like the most PMA player I've ever played with.
He's a rock.
Oh yeah.
He's a boulder.
I would just talk to him about my life problems, honestly.
He's washed. No, I think the reason he does it is because I think he doesn't like the idea of going in, blowing your 3-second spell, and then just kind of sitting around for the next 16 seconds, which is more so a testament to why Clinks is such a shit hero right now. But I think he's more on the idea of, well, if I go, 75% effectiveness, or let's say 50% effectiveness on this Burning Barrage, and then 100% effectiveness on my right clicks, that's 150% effectiveness overall instead of going, 200% into the Burning Barrage for 3 seconds. And so I think that's kind of his idea. But I do notice that he pretty consistently goes for that right click stuff.
The thing is, if you go for that, I feel like you need to go different build, because then you need attack speed. Then you need to go basically. I think maybe you need to go Mjolnir instead of you need to go different build, not the usual Clink stuff that's centered around locking people down in place for a barrage and kill.
No,
and also I think you say the Clinks is I think Clinks is obviously bad here. I think the reason is a bit different is that he doesn't have any protection if people jump him basically, and he needs to stay in place. Drow also stays in place for a multi-shot, but she at least has a silence, which is a pushback as well. She has some sort of protection for herself, and she has slows when Clinks doesn't. So
I mean it's all that. I think. Well, you were saying you don't build the lockdown and stuff on Clinks. I mean, he stopped building Gleipnir at this point. In that scrim that we played against Not Nilk, he just didn't build Gleipnir for 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. He just got his Maelstrom and then build Daedalus or something.
Yeah, I honestly just even wonder, like, you maybe go Maelstrom for farming, then maybe you go, like, back for Orchid or something, like the old style build, if that's what he does. I don't know. I won't, like, suggest to him, like, how to play. I was just interested because that's something I saw.
He's crazy.
All
In a
right.
calm way.
All right. So now question for you guys. What the game from last week was a surprise for you? For me, it was the Sev winning because, as I said, I had low hopes for your team after seeing like something from the past games, but you got the game off Legacy, which I don't think like many of us expected here. So
That's fair.
what's the surprise for you? Sev, yeah.
I didn't see too many of the games from last week. I think I could probably say like our game was kind of surprising because I think overall like we were all still like playing and having a good time, but I think we had like kind of decided, oh, it's like if we lose, we lose, but like we weren't sure of how changing things around, like how it'd go, because we'd never tried with those new lanes. I think everyone was like pretty happy with how it went, and so yeah, I'd say the same series.
Okay.
I think we went in expecting not to do too well against the Legacy team, and then going 1-1 was a pretty big boost for us.
Okay. Legacy was.
I'm actually happy we lost that game. Yes and no at the same time. I mean, I think that game taught us as a team like a lot. We played all poorly as a team that game, but also I think it helped because like Hobbs has a more like an absolute clear idea of how he wants to play every game we play in PDC now. That was just kind of us trying again with the Viper pick. He knew that hero is probably the pick for the game, but again in these 4K leagues, he basically pointed out, I was like, yeah, I need to have a hero that can do more and not have to rely on like setup and stuff. So I think losing that game is overall good for us, and it definitely was a surprise. Like obviously we weren't ready for Jim to play pause one and be on a very slippery hero, which by the way, while Plupo was talking about Clinks, quick thing, actually lower respect for players that play Weaver and Clinks than the banned players, because cowards, max movement speed invis. So yeah, but yeah, I'd say our game probably the most surprising. I think everything else kind of went according to
Okay.
predictions. But
Well, so for the next one is the disappointment of last week. I put here Tusk XD, and what that means is, so I spoke to my team after they got 1-1 and they lost the second game, and so I was informed that let me pull it up. So they first picked Tusk and they gave it to Mota, and Mota said it's okay, I play Tusk, and apparently he wasn't great. So Tusk XD. What's disappointment for you? Let's start with Plupo.
Disappointment for me, not playing. that'll be my disappointment. We didn't play last week, and that did not feel great. Because I feel like we have so much to prove. Like, I don't know. Everybody keeps putting us 0-2, and I understand that we are 0-2. We're literally the worst team in the league, in our division for sure. But I just feel like we have so much to prove, and we're getting shafted left, right, and center just by various things.
Well,
so it's disappointing to not be able to play.
Good thing for you, Plupo, is that every team is going to the playoffs, from what I know. So you can lose every game and then win out in the playoffs.
Or we can get fucking shafted in playoffs again at this rate, man.
I don't know. We'll see. All right, Seb, what is your disappointment for last week? And you cannot pick your own team.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, I don't know what I would say like disappointment wise it would be. I think most games came out where I would have expected them. Because the BS Chile and the Courier game was delayed to this week, right?
No, to the makeup week.
Or makeup week.
Whenever it is. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it would have been cool to see Tia take a game off of Math Magician, just because like that team's kind of insanely strong, and seeing teams be able to like take a game off would be a confidence booster to other people who are gonna have to play them. But that's probably where I'd put it.
Okay. Legacy.
I was thinking about this, and I'm gonna go with the what team is off on again? Gazelle, right? Yeah, the Gazelle Jeffrey series. I think that was a bit disappointing. I feel like the Gazelle team really probably wanted a 2-0 there, with but the your mid is over twice the other mid's MMR, and you have a carry that's arguably probably the best carry in the league. I feel like with some play, they should have been able to 2-0 for sure. So I think that was probably the disappointment of the week. But I feel like most series were rather not disappointing, but they were like good to watch.
Okay, alright. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. If you would need to select one match to watch from this week, which one would you watch? Plupo, you're first. And your mic is muted if you're saying anything.
I don't know. I'm hip. I mean, you have to watch the Legacy Samada game. I mean, they're clearly the top 2 seeds as projected by y'all so far, and I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun. Yeah, watch that one.
Alright. Yeah, like for me, I put the Samada Legacy, but I think it's close between that or Chaz Sauce, and that's like a series we'll put 1-1. So
That's fair. I think it's if you've been in the leagues a long time, you'll probably want to watch Sauce Chaz just because there's a lot of names there that you'll probably recognize. But if you don't know everybody in the league too much, I would watch Samada Legacy if you have to make time. I'll probably go watch Sauce Chaz, but
okay.
1-2C game should be fun.
Yeah, because Plupo already knows we're about a 2-0 easy. So
I don't even need to
worth
watch
watching.
it. I just
Not worth
believe.
watching.
I believe.
Well, Element is in chat right now, and he's saying just don't look at the mid lane. Thanks. So.
I already told him this is going to be a tough mid matchup for him, but he's ready. He's being humble.
I don't know. You just said that at certain heroes, he can definitely be good enough. So what's the match for you to watch Legacy since you cannot say your own match?
I mean, it's going to be probably Sauce and Chaz. A lot of good names there. Have a lot of history with a lot of those people, a lot of those players, a lot of friends, a lot of respect for them. So that's going to be a fun series, even if it's maybe not how everything turns out. Maybe it's not a 1-1. Even if it's 2 stomps, it'll still be good to see friends play. So probably that one.
Okay, Sev, do you agree? Or you have any other games to suggest?
I think that game will be really fun to watch. I think any game where everyone thinks it's going to be 1-1 would be fun to watch because that means everyone thinks that it could kind of go either way. But to go against the grain, I'll actually say your guys' game versus the Beasts Britain soccer team would be really fun to watch. I think.
Well, it's not happening this week. It's moved.
Okay, in that case, I'll just say the Sauce Chaz game as well then.
Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, we couldn't agree. Like, if we play default time, we both would need stand-ins, and we couldn't fight any other way. So we just moved it away. All right, guys. I think that about rounds it up for today. So thank you for coming on to the content. Thank you for being my guest, Plupo and Sev. And we will be back probably next month as usual. Stay tuned.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Peace.
Bye.